All right, we're now joined by tonight's race winner, Kyle Larson, driver of the number 5 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet. Once again, we'll go ahead and open it up for questions. Raise your hand, we'll get you a wireless mic. Go ahead and start with Bob.
Bob Pockers, Fox Sports. You've had a couple wins slip away this year after you had that damage with the contact with Suarez. Did you think, oh, this is another one of those days?
I wouldn't say that ever crept into my mind. I was just kind of hoping and praying that the damage was the reason why I got slow, and obviously couldn't see the damage. Still haven't seen how it was dented, but I was definitely a lot slower then, so I was hoping once we got to the end of the second stage that they could fix it, and then that our car would go back to normal, because I was surprised at how bad I was after that. So I felt like I was, before that pit stop, we were going to cruise to a stage 2 win, and then it kind of fell apart there. So I was just mad at the situation, and mad at just not knowing if it was the damage why I was bad, or if just the track had gone through transition and we were going to be average the rest of the race. But thankfully that wasn't the case, and you were able to get refocused there to start the third stage and inch our way forward, and then have some things work out for us, cautions work out at the right time, and our pit crew executed a great pit stop there at the last one.
We'll go right over here, and then we'll go to Mike, and then we'll take a question from the press box.
Chris Powell, Couch Coach Live. Congratulations, Cal, on the victory. Talk about kind of that frustration. How did you overcome it? And then the impact of Hendrick Motorsports in your career.
Yeah, no, it was, I feel like a lot of the races, I mean, even looking at last week, like my race was going good in the beginning, and then one small mishap turned into me trying too hard, and then I made a lot more mistakes and kind of hurt our day going forward. So, when I was going backwards in the second stage and mad, I just needed a caution to take a break, and then tell myself just to not overreact, and just we still have 170 something laps left or whatever it was, and it's plenty of time to get back to the front. So our car was good enough to do that too. But and then the impact of Hendrick Motorsports has been amazing for my career. Obviously, I've won a lot of races with them, and now a championship in 2021, and it was Ricky Hendrick's birthday today that I learned about as well. So just a great day all around for Hendrick Motorsports. Great week, especially. So a lot of significance to this week, and I'll probably remember it now for a long time.
Go ahead.
Mike Embry, NBC Sports. Kyle, what was the after the incident? What did the car feel like? Was it noticeably different from damage?
Yeah, and typically, when you leave from a green flag stop, it feels different, because there's rubber on the track and all that. So, I took off from the green flag stop, and I was like, okay, my car is driving different than it did to start this run. So, and I didn't think that I hit Suarez that hard. It didn't feel that hard from my seat. So I was like, okay, it's whatever. And I was like, man, I'm not good. I was really tight loading into the corner, snap loose off. Lap cars were driving by me. So I was just like, man, like, is this the track change? And then they told me that the damage, and there was just nothing I could do to manage, what I was fighting. And I think when I was tight in the center, it just pissed off my exit and my rear tires, and I was really, really bad, really lacking traction that run. So I was just shocked that the damage did that much to me. But thankfully, it was in an area where they could pop it back out, and our car drove fine after that.
And what about the Ricky's birthday and the paint scheme and all that? Is it a extra special thing for you to have all that come together?
Yeah, for sure. No, it definitely is. It's been me racing this 5 car has been special, but especially this paint scheme. I was watching, just flipping through like old YouTube videos this week of my 2021 season, so I could remind myself that I used to be good. But I didn't realize after watching it that Vegas was our first race, my first win with Hendrick, and that was my first race with that paint scheme and the colors that year. Kansas later on that year was I think it was 17 years to the date of the accident. And then, now you'll win it on his birthday. It's all really special, and it's kind of crazy kind of how, things maybe work out, from the power above, things work out that way. So pretty special for sure. And, there's a couple other birthdays on our team also. My Jack man, he turned 30 today. My spotter turned 30 today. So just a special day all around, and look forward to celebrating with them.
We'll take a question from the press box.
Yeah, Joshua Weatherman, Short Track Report. What were your thoughts about the new short track package, and what do you think we can expect when we get back on the pavement at Martinsville?
So I thought things felt more normal to like the previous model car. I felt like last year here at Richmond, like you could follow somebody down to the bottom and you would just get so tight. And even if they missed the bottom a little bit in front of you, you'd get tight. But today seemed like, normal. Like you could wrap the paint, if somebody missed the bottom in front of you, you could like throttle up and get to their back bumper. So I just didn't feel as affected behind people in traffic. So I was pleased with that. It seemed like there was more passing. It seemed like there was a little more coming and going compared to last year's races. I'm curious what other drivers think, but I thought it was an improvement. I thought it was an improvement at Phoenix, but I thought it was even more of an improvement compared to the racing we had here last year for this race. So, yeah, I was happy about that.
Come right here.
Andrew Stoddard, frontstretch.com, Kyle, over here. So it seems like your close competition pretty much throughout the day were the JTR Toyotas. Were you kind of expect them to be your closest competition, and kind of how did you the Hendrick Chevys compare to the JGR Toyotas throughout the race?
Yeah, always when you come to Richmond, you know that the Gibbs cars are going to be the ones to beat. They just have a package, I guess, for this track, and so I knew, or at least I thought going into the race. You don't know without practice, but I thought going into the race that they were going to be the tough ones. And when I was going backwards into that second stage, a lot of the cars past me were Gibbs cars, so I was like, okay, they're really good, and I could see them kind of chewing up on Williams' lead in front of me, and then ultimately passing him too. So, yeah, they were probably still better than we were today, but this has historically been a really bad track for Hendrick too. So to have all of us run up front majority of the day, come away with a 1-2 finish, lead as many laps as we did between William and I, like it was the best day I think Hendrick's had at Richmond in decades probably. So proud of the effort, and really, really proud of how we've been as a whole organization at every racetrack so far this season.
We'll come to Alex, then Barry, then back up to the press box, then over to Nathan.
Hi, Kyle. Alex Zetlow of the Charlotte Observer. I found it funny that you said that you watched your highlights from your championship season to prove that you were "quote unquote" good, or a time when you were
myself, not proof.
Remind yourself. Can you expound on that? Why did you do it? What'd you learn, etc.?
I don't know, just trying to, I don't know, I was just bored at night the other night. But, no, I mean, it was a great season, and just kind of like listening to even post-race interviews and kind of where my mindset was at then when I was winning a lot, just to kind of compare to what I think I'm like maybe right now. The next gen stuff, it's so like up and down, like it's easy to, and obviously 2021 was so strong that like we were just riding a high kind of all season, and expectations were high, execution was great, results were amazing. Where since we've gotten to the next gen car, it's like, man, like it's hard to get your confidence up. So yeah, I just really wanted to look at old tape of myself and like just kind of see where my mindset was and see my confidence, and just do all that. So it was, I don't think it mattered for the race today, but like just to, I don't know, kind of reset your mindset a little bit.
I'll come over here.
Barry, Richmond Piedmont Broadcasting, WAKG. Today you talked about the odds for the most part were against a good finish here today at Richmond for Hendrick Motorsports, even though you all really had a great day. But having won today and then going to a track where, for the most part, it fits your driving style. I heard your name mentioned in different venues today as a favorite going to Bristol. What does that do for you going to Bristol, especially going in as a favorite?
Yeah, I mean, I could have ran last in every single race leading into Bristol, and the media is probably going to point to me as being the favorite anyways at Bristol just because it's a dirt track. So I don't know. It does not matter to me. I know that we're going to be good at every racetrack, so that's promising. But yeah, it's so different than the dirt racing that I do during the week. These heavy stock cars drive nothing like even a dirt late model that's 2,400 pounds. So it's, yes, I maybe can read a track better than people, but now this is our third year on it. So I think, everybody's kind of got a good idea of what to look for. I feel like the track prep crew does a good job of making things consistent throughout the years, but the weekend especially. So yeah, I think it's gonna be, at least in the two races that we've ran there, it's your same guys that run up front. Here today will probably be up front at Bristol next week too. So I think we'll be, because we've been a lot better at all these racetracks so far this year. I think we'll be better than what we were there last year. We weren't great. We were good when the track had grip, not great when it got slick. So yeah, I'm sure we've learned from it, and we'll hopefully be better going back.
Congratulations and thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Go over to Nathan.
Nathan Solomon with the podium finish. Kyle, obviously, you get the points back this week, you get the victory. So how does this change your outlook for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really change my outlook for the rest of the season. I felt like, yes, we got hit with 100 points and all that. But I felt like our race cars were really fast all year long, so I knew we were going to have many opportunities to win, and we were just able to do that today, and I know we're gonna have more opportunities going forward. So it really nothing has changed. My confidence, I guess. Going into, sorry, I seen my buddy, he just blew up bad, so was checking that out. But I don't know, just try to keep executing.
And then, in those last couple of restarts, you raced Josh there for the win. So in these last couple of weeks that he's been in the 9 car and that he's been in the shop, just what have you seen out of him in terms of his growth?
Well, he's a extremely good race car driver and a great short track racer. So I think it's hard for me to follow along when I'm out there racing, but I think due to their track position that they had throughout the race, they were on a totally different strategy there at the end, just hoping to catch a caution, and that's ultimately what happened. Their team did a great job on pit road, and he came out second. And me being a leader, I was nervous because I hadn't been around him all day. I know he's a super good short track racer. So yeah, I knew it was gonna be tough, and thankfully we got clear of him. But he's done a phenomenal job filling in. I think it's been nice to have him a part of the debriefs. I feel like he describes his car really well. He seems like he's probably really easy to work with. I'm sure the 9 team probably feels he's easy to work with. So I've enjoyed having him a part of our team, throughout Chase's injury. So I hope whenever Chase comes back, that Josh gets more opportunity going forward and good equipment, because he is a Cup Series caliber driver, and he's proven it, just in the few races that he's ran. So he's very, very deserving of being in the Cup Series, and he's worked extremely hard his whole career to get these opportunities.
Michael Massey, the front stretch. Kyle, we've kind of gotten used to you being the guy over the years that's like you're the first to go to the wall, run the top lane. It seemed like the package or tire or something let it kind of the racing groove extend a little bit here, but there's only a couple guys really running up against the wall, and they weren't winning. What more do you think it needed for that to be the preferable line?
Well, I mean, if your car is good, you don't need to go up there. So the guys who are up there, it's because their cars were really bad. Yeah, I think early in the race, the 47 was going really good. It was kind of unfortunate to see him have his, I guess, brake issues because he was making the top work before that competition caution, and then after that, you could tell he had brake issues. But who knows? You know, maybe had he been towards the front and showing speed up there, you know, to drug others up there. But usually Richmond's like that. You know, Richmond, like, especially after rains and stuff, you know, that first run, you'll just kind of, majority of the people run around the bottom, like where you should be at Richmond. And, yeah, you'll just run until the rubber gets to the wall, and then everybody comes back down. So it's just the product of this racetrack, I think. There's only been like one Richmond race, I can't remember what year, but like where I remember running the wall. And again, like, I don't want to run the wall at any track. I just feel like, you know, if my car is not handling how I want it on the bottom, I have to find speed elsewhere. But if your car is good, you just stay glued to the bottom.
All right, we'll take our final question from Bob.
Bob Hockers, Fox Sports. When you're battling Josh Berry there on a late restart, somebody that I assume you haven't really raced against a whole lot, is there any question in your mind like that you don't know what he's going to do?
Sure. I mean, as far as like aggression, no, I didn't think of that. But like, you know, I could tell that first restart, he and I, you know, myself both, like that was the first time I restarted on the front row on the inside. So like we both kind of underdrove one, and I got clear of him pretty easy. So when we got that quick caution, I was like, dang, you know, like now he knows how much further he can run the corner and all that. So he did a much better job that second time, and I had to work a lot harder to get clear of him off of 2. So I was more just thinking about 1 and 2, like how we're gonna get through there, and if he's on my right side, you know, he's probably got a pretty good idea how to pass people because he's been in traffic the whole race. So, but thankfully it worked out where I got clear and could kind of just manage my stuff and, you know, take care of my tires in case we had another caution.
All right, thank you so much, Kyle. Congratulations.